Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again thank you for stopping by. So something a little bit different to this channel, and it's something I want to do more of in the future, but it all hinges on how this particular video goes. So as you know, I'm a Tamiya fanboy. I love vintage Tamiya, but it might not come as a surprise, I actually love all vintage RC cars. So my idea is for this channel, I want to introduce every now and again when I can find one, another manufacturer of a vintage RC car, and to just do the restore and the running videos. I think it's going to be really cool, but obviously we'll have to see what you guys think. So first up is an absolute peach. It's something from right back in the day, 19, I can't remember, I think it's 1985. The brand I'm going to use first of all is Kyosho, which the majority of you guys who watch my stuff, I think you're going to be very similar to me. You're going to know all the other brands. This particular thing is absolutely immense. I've been looking one for ages, but it had to be all there, complete with all the original parts. Otherwise, it's a bit pointless. So there we have it. And how nice is that? So if you don't know what it is, this is a Kyosho Optima Mid, the original very first Mid, which if you don't know if you're Optima families, the original Optima, which is completely different from this, it was a chain drive buggy, and then I think it went, I don't know if it's the right order, but Javelin, right through to, I should have brought a list and wrote this down, if you did the Optima Pro, which was on the other chassis, and then the Salute, there's a Optima Turbo in there as well, which you've just reread, right up to the very first Mid. Now, this is a hell of a car, and as you can see, it's completely 100% original. Bridgestone tyres on, the original Optima Mid wheels, the tyres are almost, you know, the knobbles are all awesome. Original shell decals. It's not perfect, but you're going to struggle to find one that is. All the gold shocks are on there. So this is a four-wheel drive buggy, and it's belt driven. Absolutely love it. So let's have a closer look at the car. This thing is an absolute peach. One of my all-time favourite vintage RC cars. Let's whiz the shell off. This was at every racetrack back in the day. Although Tamiya's, I mean, if you kind of look at the years, Tamiya's proper first attempt at a racetrack was the Avanti, which was 88. This thing was racing round tracks well before that. And again, this is a race car as opposed to a sort of toy grade car, as it were. So where's the shell off? So before we look at cars, let's have just a quick look at the shell. So obviously some of the decals are lifting, but I can repair that. It wants a good clean. We need to see what the colour of if we can clean it up. The body's intact, there's no cracks in it whatsoever, which is amazing. I need to tidy these windows up, I can make them neater. I always think the Optima looks much better with painted black windows. And the cut, whether for the motor guard, is a bit rough, which they generally all are, to be honest. Anyway, we can fix that. So there we have it, that's it. And as you can see straight off the bat, when you're comparing this to like the Tamiya of the back in the day, I mean, if you put a hot shot next to this, you know, race-wise, there's no comparison. All the metal parts on here, where the Tamiya was all plastic at the time. So straight away, you've got this stainless steel chassis. You've got an FRP top deck here, you've got a big metal motor plate, you've got metal shock towers, and this car came with the lovely Kyosho Gold shocks, optional shocks, but these were standard on this car. And then this nice wing, and it's got adjustment on the wing as well. What I love about this car is it's completely intact. Obviously it's got all the radio gear in it. I don't know if you can better see that, but the car came with metal front uprights, you know, standard, fully ball bearing. What else is there? This has even got all the covers on. So you've got this lovely polycarbonate belt cover. You've got the motor plate, the motor cover. I've also got the motor plate. I've just taken the motor out because I'm going to show you what motor it came with, which is even more cool. So obviously I had the pinion, and so it's all ready to put back in. Obviously it came with Samwa 2-channel old school radio gear. It's even got the original 3-step speed controller, the Kyosho one, mounted on its side. Just so cool, and obviously 2 servos. Really cool. My first impression was when I'm a tyre kicker, I always spin the diffs. Feels okay. A little bit on the tight side, but we'll have a look at that. But the overall, that's lovely. And if you've never run a belt-driven car, the noise they make is completely different to anything else. These just sound so awesome on the track. The radio gear we got, Samwa trigger. That's some seriously old radio gear. Little cover here, flicks up with your trim. Aerials here. It's even got an adjuster. I've not seen this before. It's got a plate here, so you've got your trigger as normal, and you've got this here that you flick. And if you watch the trigger, sorry, up, no down, no, what is it? Oh, sorry, I'm doing this wrong. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, oh, that's it. It's got a ratchet on it. So you've got your normal trigger movement, which is, in fact, that's adjusted. So that's your standard trigger, where it's 50-50 forward and reverse. But then it had this, if you remember on the old stick, on the left hand side on the throttle, you used to have a little switch where you could flick it up so you could get 3/4 throttle and quarter reverse. I believe that was for your petrol cars. And this has the same feature. So if you watch the trigger, flick that up, and then you've got 3/4 and quarter reverse. Really cool. I've never seen that on a trigger. Anyway, we'll test all this later, but all the crystals are there. So that's pretty much the car. Absolutely piece of vintage goodness, this. I really hope you guys, because obviously this channel's only been up and running properly for the last 4 months, and we're growing at a great rate. I just really hope you guys, this is kind of what you want to see a little bit more of. I'm by no means going away from Tamiya. But as I say, even every other month, if I can throw something like this in, and obviously I'm not planning on concentrating on just other Kyosho buggies. I'm on about putting some real stuff that you've never seen, or you might not have never seen. Right, that really is a thing of beauty, isn't it? It really is. It's even got the rubber motor cover in place. Shocks are super smooth. So the motor it came with, and this is a big part of the reason why I bought it. Let's move this car and I'll show you the motor. That's the motor it came with. Now if you know your motors, you'll know instantly what that is, because this kind of looks pretty different from every other motor out there. And it's a Tamiya motor. This is a TRF Acto tuned motor. This is quite a rare motor. This is obviously, if you've watched my channel, you've seen the motor things. This is a motor that superseded both Dynatechs, the O2H, and was kind of in between, I guess, the super modified 11 turn. I think this is around about 1998. This motor, but this was Tamiya's hottest, and this is a factory motor. So this is supposed to be a competition motor. So it's going to have better magnets, it's going to have a better wind on it. I can't remember off the top of my head what wind it is. I think it's a 12 turn off the top of my head, but I'll double check that. We'll make a separate video on the motor because I'm desperate to strip this down. It's all this lovely colouring on this blue anodised. It's a thing of beauty. I just opened one of the brushes up to have a look, and God, it's got massive, really thick brush wires, like a dual core. Not seen that before either. Obviously it's a modified motor, so you can play with the timing. I think as standard, this thing revs at about 32,000 RPM. That's quick, and now obviously you've got the timing to play with. So straight off the bat, the Dynatec O2H with the 10 turn rotor was up at around about 32,500. So this hits 32,000 as standard, and then as I say, you can tune it up a little bit. So I'm pretty sure this thing will see about 35, possibly 36,000, which is just short of the 2002 super modified 11 turn. It's a great performance, and with it being a tuned competition motor, we might get a little bit more out of it. So super excited to do that. I had kind of given up on the brush motors. I thought I'd seen them all, but if any time I can get hold of vintage Tamiya motors. And just on that, stay tuned, I've got another unboxing coming very soon, and that's got 2 motors coming with it, and one of them's a really super vintage one. So that's it. I hope you like it. So that's it pretty much for now. As I say, I just wanted just to see the car, and I wanted to explain my idea for the future videos. So please drop in the comments below what you think. You think if this is going to be a go and it's good for the channel. I don't want to damage the channel, so if it's not something people don't want to see, let me know. Don't give me a thumbs down because of that. Just let me know in the comments, please. Don't need any hate. So yeah, we'll make some more videos about this. The next one we'll be stripping it down, we'll be looking at the gifts and what diffs. We'll be looking at the diffs and what have you, and putting some running gear in it. We may well run it as it is. We'll certainly test it as it is. Obviously I won't run this motor. So once again guys, thank you for watching, it's much appreciated. And if you're new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us, that would be much appreciated. And most of all guys, happy ass seeing.